This is Labour's blowout budget. They've blown their spending, they've increased their deficits and they've increased debt. There's not a dollar of tax relief in sight for working Kiwis. In fact, the only dish Grant Robertson is serving them up is more inflation and higher interest rates for their mortgages.
What concerns you most about the figures looking forward?
That there's such a blowout in spending. We're seeing a $7 billion addition to the deficit this year, with multi-billion dollars worth of deficit over the next 4 years, and debt increasing by by $17 billion in 2026. So the spending is out of control. Grant Robertson has been gaslighting in the past few weeks, saying, oh yes, we have to control spending. Well, instead, he's got his foot, he's put it on the accelerator, and he's pushing as hard as he can. New Zealanders are going to pay the price for that.
He's pointed to getting back into surplus within the same rate for a national debt after the GFC and the extra load on infrastructure spending, in particular from Cyclone Gabriel. Do you accept that?
No, because what he hasn't shown is any ability to control his spending. What this budget does is pile more and more spending, and the priority clearly, in the middle of a cost of living crisis that's gone on for 2 years, should have been providing some income relief for working New Zealanders. He's completely failed to do that, and instead he's spending even more. The conditions in which we're operating today are high inflation, high interest rates. A good finance minister would respond to those. He's just carried on spending like there's no tomorrow.
Do you agree with the need to spend more on infrastructure, in particular the $70 billion with projects coming out and the $6 billion for the resilience infrastructure changes after the cyclone and flooding?
There is a need to increase spending on infrastructure. That is true. What we are concerned to see is that Grant Robertson is front-loading all of that. He's spending $10 billion up front, leaving only $3 billion for the infrastructure needs of the next 4 years. What that suggests to me is that this blown-out budget has a hole in it, that he's intending to spend even more in future years. So the question is, where is the reprioritisation that we were promised? Because our view has been, if you want to increase infrastructure spending, you have to show what you're not going to do. We would have taken light rail off the table. We would have taken the Lake Onslow project off the table. What's Grant Robertson taken off the table? Absolutely nothing.
Do you have what's your verdict, I guess, on expanding early childhood education for 2-year-olds?
We prefer National's Family Boost policy, which provides up to $75 a week childcare rebate for parents with children of any age in childcare under the age of 5. That obviously has wider application than the 2-year-old policy, and any parent who's had a 3 or 4-year-old in so-called 20 hours free knows it's not free, and this policy won't be either.
He says that providing income relief would have had an inflationary effect. Do you not accept that?
Only if it hadn't been funded through careful spending and reprioritisation. He could have done that, he chose not to. This is a big spending finance minister. This is the 6th budget in a row where he's blown his own operating allowance. He said that he'd be cutting back spending. In fact, he's spending more than he pledged to.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.